maybe somebody who you would be interested in is Bobby Azarian's new book, The Romance of Reality. And in that book, he is making the case for, so he's sort of, it's a synthesis of the emerging science of complexity over the last 30 years or so. And he's putting forward all the implications of this newfound scientific endeavor. And one of the implications that he's arguing for is that there is this general process of complexification. It is not an accident or a byproduct. It's inevitable in some sense. This is something Lee Smolin, the physicist Lee Smolin,
and I talked about this. We were where were we? We were on a panel together, and we talked about this. So yeah,
with Smolin.
Pardon me? Yeah, with Lee Smolin. Yeah.
Yeah, well, in his 1997 book, The Life of the Cosmos, which is a great book, he talked about this emerging science of complexity, and the newfound understanding of it was going to change the way we look at the world, because in the sort of Newtonian reductionist worldview, life is an accidental byproduct. It's just sort of an accident of these random collisions. And what he argued in The Life of the Cosmos is that when we understand, our very understandings of space and time and location require a complex world. They require complexity. And what that means is that
it's a classic Neoplatonic argument, right? That you don't start from the inside. How do I know? And then what's the world like? You ask, what must the world be like such that it is intelligible to me,
right,
and such that I can be in it to find it intelligible?
Yeah. And so that what that means to some degree is that an explanation of complexity is an explanation of how anything exists at all, right? It's an explanation of creation in some sense.
Yes.
And so, Bobby Azarian in his new book sort of puts forward this idea. Look, there is this general process of complexification. It underlies the emergence of new phenomenon in nature. It's the emergence of novelty in nature. And it's a general process. And what I argued in my newest article is that relevance realization is this process as it manifests in cognitive development. Right?
Yes.
It is the process of complexification as it manifests.
Right. So we don't just represent the process epistemically, we instantiate it ontologically, which is the grounding for participatory knowing. We participate in it.
Exactly. Yes, we participate in it, and our participation in it is because it occurs at the border between order and chaos, right? And that's criticality. And because criticality, and this is the argument that's been made multiple times in the literature, criticality represents the optimal pattern of behavior for biological systems. Our participation in this process is optimal. It is optimal, and not only is it optimal, right? It's our participation in the process of creation itself. Right. Exactly. And that makes it sacred as far as I'm concerned. Right. It makes it sacred.
Yeah. It lines up with some of the conversations I've been having with Rich Blundell and John Stewart and other people trying to make the point. But I think you're making it very clear.